Show stealer Princess Charlotte, 4, had a very early start on Christmas Day, reveals Duchess of Cambridge, as family who hugged the young royal at her first Sandringham, including wheelchair-bound twins, say it made their year. Princess Charlotte's Christmas Day got off to very early start. Her mother, the Duchess of Cambridge, told eager well-wishers who had queued since dawn to greet the royal family at the traditional Sandringham church service. The excitable 4-year-old princess was this year considered old enough to attend the annual service, alongside her big brother George, 6, and stole the show by cheerily waving and greeting the royal fans, before melting hearts as she stopped to hug wheelchair-bound Gemma Clark, who had waited all morning to say hello. Ms. Clark, 39, who traveled from Long Sutton in Lincolnshire with her family, gave Charlotte an inflatable flamingo and said she seemed pleased with the gift. She said George and Charlotte were brilliant and that they both hugged her. "It made my day," she added. "I've never seen the royal family, ever. This is my first time at Sandringham and I would love to do it again." Taking to her royal duties with aplomb, Princess Charlotte also greeted twins Thomas and Teresa Richmond, 9, who were delighted when they presented the Cambridges with flowers. The siblings, who suffer from Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, were able to secure a place in front of the main crowds in their wheelchairs and spoke to both George and Charlotte. Their overjoyed mother told the Daily Telegraph, "It was absolutely stunning. I survived breast cancer 6 years ago, so to still be here and see that today with the children was absolutely tremendous. I think this has made our Christmas and made our year. It was a real honor to meet them all." George and his little sister Charlotte walked the short distance from Sandringham House to St. Mary Magdalene Church hand in hand with their parents, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Charlotte looked adorable in her emerald swing coat, which perfectly matched her mother's accessories. The Prince of Wales walked alongside them as he greeted fans who had been waiting outside for hours in the biting cold. 1-year-old Prince Louis stayed at the house. Fans praised Charlotte's impeccable manners and cheeky persona as they gifted her presents, including a teddy and a pink flamingo toy. Karen Anville, who famously took a picture of the Fab Four, the Cambridges and Sussexes 2 years ago, gifted Charlotte a doll this morning. Ms. Anville then captured a photo of the 4-year-old. When Prince Harry announced his engagement to Meghan Markle, courtiers had high hopes they would form a Fab Four with William and Kate. The two couples duly appeared on stage together to promote their royal foundation, with officials briefing it would be the first of many such events. But the four split their charity earlier this year and have not been seen together as a foursome in public since. Ms. Anville told Sky News, "Charlotte came over with her mum, she liked the doll. Her manners are outstanding, but she's cheeky, she wasn't at all scared. She said Prince George's manners were also perfect." Back at the house, the family traditionally indulge in turkey, reared at Sandringham, before settling down to watch TV, including the Queen's Christmas speech. The royals' appearance comes at the culmination of a tumultuous year for the family, in which Prince Andrew was forced to step down from public duties. Prince Philip faced a police probe over a car crash. Prince Harry acknowledged tensions in his relationship with his elder brother William, and Harry's wife Meghan admitted she was struggling with her new life as a royal. Addressing the atmosphere at Sandringham, marred by Prince Andrew's absence in the wake of his car crash, a Newsnight interview, she said, "This morning there was a different feel. There were lots of questions about Andrew and so many theories about whether he'd be here or not. I've been here for 3 years, and this year it is definitely different. But it is packed here." The 93-year-old Queen, wearing a red coat and hat, arrived at the church in a maroon Bentley with the Duchess of Cornwall. The Duke of Edinburgh, 98, who was discharged from hospital on Christmas Eve, was at Sandringham but did not attend church. He had spent 4 nights at the King Edward VII Hospital in London to receive treatment for a pre-existing condition. Philip, who retired from public duties in 2017, did not attend last year's church service either, despite being in good health at the time. The Duke of York, who has had a tumultuous end to the year after his disastrous appearance on the BBC's Newsnight programme, walked side by side with Charles to a service at 9 a.m. but did not attend the 11 a.m. service. Andrew's attempt to explain his relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein backfired, and he was heavily criticized for showing a lack of empathy towards Epstein's victims and remorse over his friendship with the disgraced financier. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were also absent this year, instead opting to spend 7-month-old Archie's first Christmas with the Duchess's mother, Doria Ragland, in Canada. Others attending the main morning service included Princess Beatrice and her fiancé, Edoardo Mappli-Mozzi. Prince Andrew walked in solidarity with his older brother Charles today as they made their way to their annual Christmas Day service at Sandringham. The beleaguered Duke of York cut a solemn figure as he walked alongside Prince Charles into St. Mary Magdalene Church on what was his first public outing since his controversial Newsnight interview. But Andrew then failed to attend the following service at 11 a.m., as the rest of the royals cheerily greeted well-wishers. In recent months the Duke of York has stepped back from royal duties and been dropped by a number of charities amid the furore that followed his BBC interview and friendship with the pedophile billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Also absent today was the Duke of Edinburgh, who was discharged from hospital in London yesterday, leaving the Queen to go to church alone. Today is the first time the younger royals have attended, with Prince George and Princess Charlotte going into church alongside their parents, William and Kate. At 6 and 4 they are now old enough to sit through the service. Andrew's daughter Princess Beatrice was also joined by fiancé Edoardo Mappli-Mozzi for the first time at the church. Hundreds of well-wishers have been queuing since the early hours to catch a glimpse of members of the royal family, and waved excitedly as the Queen left with Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, and was driven to the royal family's traditional 11 a.m. service. Last year, the Duke of York arrived for the service with his mother. Andrew stepped back from public life following November's car crash BBC interview in which he attempted to explain his friendship with Epstein. He repeatedly denied claims that he had sex with one of the disgraced financier's victims, Virginia Roberts, when she was just 17. Miss Roberts then accused him of lying. The Queen's second son also faced calls to speak to the FBI about his relationship with Epstein, who was found dead in his prison cell in August awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Andrew was effectively sacked by his mother after his older brother Charles warned her that the scandal threatened to engulf the monarchy. As the Queen is head of the Church of England, it is a key part of royal celebrations. Following the service, the Windsors enjoy a festive lunch back at Sandringham House and then settle down together to watch the Queen's Christmas Day speech. In her broadcast to the nation and the Commonwealth, the Queen is to acknowledge the bumpy path the royal family and the nation has experienced over the past 12 months. But the biggest bump faced by the royal family was the fallout from the Duke of York's disastrous Newsnight interview about his relationship with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew, 59, is expected to watch his mother's televised broadcast to the nation with the rest of the family at Sandringham tomorrow. She will say, "Small steps taken in faith and in hope can overcome long-held differences and deep-seated divisions to bring harmony and understanding." The path, of course, is not always smooth, and may at times this year have felt quite bumpy, but small steps can make a world of difference. The comments are believed to be her first public reference to the turmoil faced by her family this year. She dubbed 1992 an annus horribilis in a speech to mark the 40th anniversary of her accession. In that year Charles separated from Princess Diana, Andrew split from his wife Sarah Ferguson, Princess Anne divorced Captain Mark Phillips, and a fire engulfed Windsor Castle. Although the Duke of Edinburgh was discharged from hospital on Christmas Eve, he has not attended the church service on the Queen's private estate in Norfolk today. The Duke was admitted to King Edward VII's hospital in central London on Friday and spent 4 nights undergoing treatment for an undisclosed ongoing health issue. The 98-year-old, who received minor injuries after being involved in a car crash near the estate in January, missed the service at St. Mary Magdalene Church last year to stay at home, despite being in good health at the time. It is also unlikely that the Duke of York will arrive with the Queen, as he did in 2018, amid the fallout from a disastrous television interview about his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew stepped down from public duties for the foreseeable future following his appearance on BBC Newsnight, when he was heavily criticised for showing little remorse over his friendship with convicted sex offender Epstein. In the interview, the Duke denied claims he slept with Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's victims, on 3 separate occasions. In another departure from last year, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will not walk into the church side by side with the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Harry and Meghan will be celebrating Archie Mountbatten Windsor's first festive season with the Duchess's mother, Doria Ragland, instead of joining the royal family's traditional celebration in Norfolk. Their choice to spend Christmas away from Sandringham follows claims of a rift, first between Meghan and Kate, which appeared to have been quashed as they arrived together at last year's service, and then between Harry and brother William. In an ITV television documentary broadcast in October, Harry, when asked about the situation, said he loved his brother dearly but they were on different paths at the moment.